Hello children, so after your half yearly we meet once again and now we will be starting with your final exam course. So for the final course we will be starting today with the first chapter which I am going to start today is lesson number 28. It is 28, right? The sentence. But why I want to start with the sentence because many children, while I was correcting the copy, I found that they have forgotten what is a sentence, the rules of the sentence, how to begin the work while doing it in your copy. So now I have written some of those some words over here, the words over here, incomplete sentence it is. So let's read it carefully. Over here it is long tail, first one. The second one is under the table, across the road, in the air. Now what do you find? What do you find over here? That all these sentences, they have a sense. Now long tail, you have a sense, but it is not completely a full complete sentence. It is not like forming a sentence over here completely, and it is a phrases. So we can say over here, these sentence over here, all these are phrases. How we can say? Because the words which is interconnected with another word, it has a meaning. Long tail, it is describing a tail, how it is long. Under the table. Now under the table. Now it is a part of a sentence, but it is not making any sense. So children, we can say these four sentences is called phrases. Right? It is called known as phrases of the sentence. How we can say phrases of the sentence? Because these sentences, like all these sentences, are making some sense, but they are not completing the sentence, you can say. Not sense, sentence. It is not completing a sentence. Now, the first and foremost rule of the sentence is that a sentence always starts with a capital letter. Now over here, this word it is not starting with a capital letter. So the first and foremost rule of the sentence is to start with a capital letter. So we can say it is a phrases. Now third thing is that the sentence always ends with a full stop, a punctuation mark, that is full stop. So what we find over here, these four sentences, they are not applying the rules of the sentence, that is the capital letter and ending with the full stop. It is not there. So this is known as this group of words, we can say it is a phrase, right? Phrases or phrase you can say. Now the second column over here which you see, I have written interconnecting with this words which I have taken over here. First one is a long tail, a monkey has a long tail. So over here the sentence is making this group of words is making a sense. So it is called a sentence, right? Now the first and foremost rule of the sentence is always start with a capital letter. It is started with a capital letter. The second rule of the sentence is that to end the sentence with a full stop. So I have ended with a full stop over here. And the third is the sentence is forming a sense, right? The group of words is forming a sense. So it is called a sentence. Second example we see, the first one I have taken over here, the phrase under the table. Now I have formed a sentence over here, the shoes are under the table. Now this is not making any sense. But over here, the second column, which I have used that phrase over here to complete the sentence, that is, the shoes are under the table, is forming a sense. So it is a sentence. Now the third one is across the road. Now to complete that phrase, that half part of a sentence, to make a proper sense, so then I have used over here the boy ran across the road, right? Now the fourth one is that this thing in the air. So I have made a sentence, the birds fly in the air. Now again all these sentence is starting with a capital letter, right? And ending with a full stop. Moreover, they are making a sense. Next, in this phrases over here, there is no capital letter, no phrases, no capital letter, no full stop. At the same time, there is no verb. There is no verb. Now, as I told you while I was teaching the part of speech verb, I told you that without a verb we cannot construct any sentence. We cannot make any sentence. So hence, like over here, since there is no verb over here, so it is a phrases. Now I have used over here the verbs has, are, ran, fly. These all are verbs. So it is making a complete sense. So what is present over here? The capital letter, full stop. A sentence has meaning, right? Has meaning. So what we can say? What is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which has a sense. It's called sentence. So children, what we have learned up till now, that a sentence is a group of words that makes a complete sense. It's called a sentence. Now, when you were in a small class, you have learned that a sentence has two parts. They contains two parts, and they are subject and predicate. Now, subjects, as I told you when I was teaching you tenses, and verb like past, present tense. Repeatedly, I kept on saying talking about the subject, that it has two parts, that is noun and pronoun. Right. Now, noun is what? It is a naming word. So over here, the subject can start with a name. Like over here, Kavya, please bring your book. Ananya, go and sit in your seat. Right. We can also say that Moria, please stop talking, as he keeps on jumping about from one place to another. Moria, Anuj, all these you children, like I am missing you all, because there is no activity in the class of your disturbance while teaching. So anyway, but the show must go on, so we keep on missing, but at the same time we will also continue with our courses. It's not that you are totally wiped out from our memory, right? So subject always starts, anything that starts with a name, that is a lion is the king of the jungle. So lion is what is a subject, right? So if you can say peacock is the national bird of India. So peacock. So any name of a person, place, animal or thing is a subject, right? Pronoun, as I told you, instead of repeating the name again and again, and to avoid this repetition, we use like they, I, me, you, he, she, it, right? So we use pronoun. So a subject is what? They are either noun or pronoun. Remember that. Now, next part is predicate. Now predicate is generally the rest part of the sentence, right? So rest part of the sentence, that they includes what? It includes verb. It also includes direct and indirect objects. It also includes compliments, like like if I say that Tamanna is looking very beautiful. So Tamanna is what looking, it is a compliment, right? So the same adverbial when using the word which has adverb, right? So walk, he wrote quickly. He wrote quickly. Now quickly is what adverb. So all these things which is predicate in a sentence, that is including verb, direct and indirect, then it is complement, then it is adverbial. So they are what? Predicate. Now next is what you see if you open your page number 129, it is written over there, every predicate has at least one verb. It has at least one verb. The verb changes according to the number of subject. Now number of subject means the number of noun, like it is singular or plural subject. Singular, singular for singular subject and plural for plural subjects. The tenses of the verb also changes according to the time of action or state. Next is the predicate may contain an object. A sentence always also contains an object. Now the object is a person or a thing that is affected or influenced by the action of the verb in a sentence. It is generally a noun or a pronoun and it comes after verb, right? So it always comes after the verb. It can be either direct object, it can be indirect object, and it comes after verb. Next, it is affected by the next is it generally runs a noun or a pronoun and it comes after a noun. Now then we come to the last. For example, if I say all of us loves music, right? So in this sentence, the word music is what? It is an object, right? Whereas a predicate may also contains two objects. It can be either indirect or indirect, as I told you over here, right? The school gave me a certificate. Next example, our teacher sent us some advice on email. So a certificate, some advice, they are direct objects, whereas me or us is what? Indirect object, right? So here we can say that predicate may also contains a complement, right? A complement, a complement is usually a noun or an adjective. It comes after verbs such as is, am, was, were, has, have, seen, appear, become, or look, and so on. It expresses the quality, state, and identify the subject of an object, right? Like over here, the news made him sad. Now, how it is identifying the subject, that is sad, right? It is a compliment. As I told you that, Tamanna is looking beautiful. So beautiful is a compliment. Next is the predicate may also contain an adverb. Adverb or adverb phrases generally appears at the end of the sentences. Now adverb, like he writes quickly. Quickly, like is an adverb. So it is ending at the end of the sentence, right? So they usually ends at the subject of in a sentence. Now let's take an example. I'll show you. Now children, let us look at this example. I have written two examples over here. The principal welcomed the guest politely. Now the principal is what? It is what? It is subject, right? Because why? Because principal is a name, it is define a particular person. It is telling about a particular person. Now welcome. Now welcome is what? It is verb. Now the guest is what? The guest is what? It is an object. It is talking about the person, object. Now, politely is what? And it is an adverb. Right. Next, we'll see another example over here that Rajat was absent yesterday. Now, as I said, that a sentence always starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. Now over here a sentence is also having the same verb. It is also having complement. It is also having an object, or you can say adverb. Right. So Rajat is what? Rajat is a name of a person. So it is a subject. Right. Now next is was. Was is what? It is a verb. Absent is what? It is a complement. It is a complement. It is telling about the object. Now yesterday is what? It is talking about a time, like yesterday, past. So it is adverb. It is an adverb. So in this way we are going to find out separate the subject and predicate in this way, right? So children, in exercise A you can see that you are having over here that you have to circle the subject and underline the predicate. I have taught you. So I hope you will be able to do it. Next is, now B is pick out the verb, object, complements and adverbs from the sentence. Now the column is made and according to it you will be filling it. I made you understand and I hope you have understood this part. Right. Next children, we will study about kinds of sentence. Now this we have been generally doing from class 2 or 3. We have been reading about kinds of sentence from class 2. Now in your course there are 4 kinds of kinds of sentence. It has been given in your book, but there are more. But we will be focusing more on these 4 parts, right? First one is declarative sentence, then is imperative sentence, then the third one is interrogative sentence, and then is exclamatory sentence. Most of these sentences, these are simple kind of sentence and you know that what are they. So let's take a quick recap of it. I won't go in detail. So for the declarative sentence, the statement for declarative sentence, it is what? It is when a sentence is making a statement, right? A simple statement. Then when it is giving, second point, either the sentence is giving some information, or when the sentence is expressing an opinion or making a promise that I will, suppose I say, you come and say, ma'am, please don't take the test. I promise that I will submit study hard. Don't give me 0. I promise that I will study hard. It is a simple sentence, right? So it is a declarative sentence. That, for example, if I say, please bring your book tomorrow. Yeah, please submit your book tomorrow. Now it is a declarative, it is a statement declared that tomorrow you have to submit the book. Suppose today this thing I have invited you, Sunita for dinner, right? I have invited, it is declaring, right? Ki that Sunita, I have already invited called Sunita for the dinner, right? Next information, tomorrow the school is closed. If I say it is not, the school is closed, but you will get the videos. So tomorrow the school is closed. I am giving the information. Tomorrow there will be a competition. So it is a declarative sentence. Next is suppose if I say that expressing an opinion, I am having a toothache. I am having a toothache. I am giving you my opinion. Like I am expressing my pain to you, right? So I will definitely bring your complete my work tomorrow. So you are making a promise. So declarative sentence tells us about three things. One is statement. Statement means clear, simple statement, simple sentence. Next is it tells us, gives information. It gives us information. Next is expressing opinion. Opinion. O-P-I-N-I-O-N. Next is making a promise. Making a promise. Next is imperative sentence. Imperative sentence is that when a sentence is giving a command, order, or making a request, advice, direction, or instruction. When a sentence is making a what? It is commanding something that go and sit. Bring your copy on my table. No. So this is a command. Please keep quiet. I am giving you the order. Go and clean your cupboard. I am giving you an order. Request, like you say, ma'am, please may I drink water? It is a request, right? May I come in? It is a request. Next is advice. Advice is that sleep early to bed, early to rise makes it is an advice, right? So complete your work on time before you fall into trouble. That is an advice, right? Giving an instruction, submit your copy on time. Draw the line after, like I keep on saying to you, draw the line after each exercises, right? So it is an instruction, right? Next is interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence, I believe it is very easy. It ends with a question mark. And interrogative sentence is what? When you are asking something about, you are inquiring about something. So and it always ends with a question mark. So it is the same interrogative sentence. Next is the exclamatory sentence. Sentence when a sentence is expressing a surprise, joy, pain, like anger, pity, So they are like. So they say, what a beautiful rainbow! Look, what a beautiful rainbow! So look, what a beautiful rainbow! So you end with what? Exclamation mark. So a word always ends with a exclamation mark, or a sentence ends with a exclamation mark. So if you say somebody hit you, ouch, you say. So ouch, after ouch, it is an exclamation mark. So when you scream, I said keep quiet. So keep quiet, like, is an exclamation mark. So any sentence like showing emotion, yeah, joy, feeling, pain, anger, pity. Oh, so poor, so sorry, I feel pity for her, so sorry to see her in that state. You know? So it is a exclamation mark. So all these, the sentence which is an ending with a sentence having an emotion, it carries an exclamation punctuation mark. So now children, I hope you must have understood what I have taught you, right? What is a kind of sentence? So let's take a quick recap. Kinds of sentence, like there are 4 we have studied: declarative, imperative, question, interrogative, and exclamatory. Declarative, the sentence which are simple sentence, is information or gives an opinion. Imperative, when you are ordering someone or commanding someone or requesting someone, right? In interrogative sentence, when you are asking a question and it ends with the question mark. This is the punctuation mark. Exclamatory, a sentence which is having showing an emotion of pity, sorrow, joy, anger. They are, and it always ends with the exclamatory marks. So when you get your book, like when after going to the video, go through the exercise, try to do it on your own, then do it in your workbook, and then when I send you the PDF, you open my PDF and see that whether you have understood what I have taught you, right, and correct it, and then the PDF work you are going to copy it in your classwork copy, right. So that's it for the day. Have a good day.